Hello and welcome to this SRDR Plus training video. My name is Bryant Smith, and I'm the administrator of SRDR Plus. In this video, I will demonstrate how to export extracted data saved in your SRDR Plus project to either a Microsoft Excel worksheet or a Google Sheet, and then point out to you the characteristics of an SRDR Plus export file. So let's begin. First, we'll log into SRDR Plus using our SRDR Plus username and password. Remember, after logging into SRDR Plus, you will automatically be forwarded to the My Projects page. Next, on the My Projects page, either search for or navigate to your project. Then, under the title of the project, click on the Export link. This will cause the Export pop-up to appear. To export the extracted data in your project to a Microsoft Excel worksheet, select the Microsoft Excel Legacy Format option on the pop-up, and then click the Export Project Data button. If instead you would like to export the extracted data in your project to a Google Sheet, select the Google Sheets option on the pop-up, and then click the Export Project Data button. For demonstration purposes, I'll export the extracted data from this existing project to a Microsoft Excel worksheet, like so. Note, after clicking the Export Project Data button, you'll receive a confirmation that the export request has been submitted and that a download link for the requested export will be sent to the email address associated with your SRDR Plus user account. The amount of time it takes to complete the export varies by the amount of data and the complexity of your project. Once the export is complete, you'll receive an email notification. Please ensure that you are able to receive emails from srdr@ahrq.hhs.gov and check your spam folder as well. To download the export file to your computer, navigate to your email and open the email with the subject line, "You have a notification from SRDR Plus." Then click on the download link in the email. Doing so will download the file to your computer. So what is included in an export file? Let's take a quick look at the Microsoft Excel export file of an existing project, Breast Reconstruction After Mastectomy, which was published to SRDR Plus in June 2021. First, once you have opened the Excel file, you'll notice that included in the file is a separate sheet for each section of your project's extraction form. The project information sheet contains the project information you entered in for your project, including project title, description, attribution, methodology description, notes, and funding source, as well as the project's project member list. The design detail sheet likewise contains the study data that was entered into the design details section of your extraction form for each extraction in your project. Notice that each row of data in this sheet represents a separate extraction. Scrolling from the left side of the sheet to the right, columns identify the extractions by assigned user and citation information. And later, columns contain the study data entered for each question field included in the section of the extraction form, in order of their appearance on the form. This organizational structure is used in the other sheets of this export file, with a few modifications made for specific extraction form sections, including the ARM details, outcome details, and sample characteristic sheets, as well as the ARM and outcome sheets and the results sheets. On the ARM details, outcome details, and sample characteristic sheets, depending on whether the options to display questions for each ARM or outcome defined in the extraction were enabled on the project's extraction form, study data are organized in each row by extraction and within each extraction by either ARM or outcome. In our example project, the option to display questions for each ARM defined in the extraction was enabled. As a result, on the ARM detail sheet, each row of data is specific to a particular ARM entered into an extraction. Next, in the ARM and outcome sheets, Although each row of data represents a single extraction, scrolling from left to right after the citation information columns, the columns specify individual arms or outcomes used in each extraction. As seen here in the arm sheet, where a column for arm title and arm descriptions is provided for each arm that was extracted into the project. Likewise, in the outcome sheet, columns for outcome domain, specific measurement, and units are provided for each outcome that was extracted into the project. In the results sheets, which consist of the sheets for categorical and continuous descriptive statistics, and categorical and continuous between-arm comparison, as well as the sheets for within-arm comparison and net differences. Outcome measure results study data are organized in each row by extraction, but also by arm and outcome, and subpopulation and time point. As you can see from this project's descriptive statistics sheet for continuous outcomes, each row of outcome measure results data is specific to a particular time point, subpopulation, arm, and outcome combination entered into an extraction. Finally, in the risk of bias sheet, like the design detail sheet, each row of data in this sheet represents a separate extraction, and scrolling from left to right, the columns contain the study data entered for each risk of bias dimension. And with that, we have completed this video. In this video, we covered extraction data export to either a Microsoft Excel worksheet or a Google Sheet, and took a brief tour of an SRDR Plus export formatted as a Microsoft Excel worksheet. In the next video, I will show you how to import extracted study data saved in a Microsoft Excel format into your SRDR Plus project's extraction form. If you have any questions about this video or about SRDR Plus, please feel free to email us at srdr@ahrq.hhs.gov, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you for watching this video. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.